Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I'm kind of a mess, but I'm in a hurry. I only have an hour, so I'm hoping to keep this under an hour before I have something else I got to do. So I wanted to get these messages out before that happens. It is 11:11, as you guys all know. It is that 11 energy of justice and the twins and union and stability of the square and the one and the one. I have so many messages. I just want to get right into them so I get through this. I don't know if I'll have time for oracle cards or not. If not, I'll come back later, maybe do a little something. But the sand art, I got a spine, and I got that that wedding again, where it's like the bride coming down the aisle. So one was a very positive energy with beautiful decorations hanging everywhere. A strong masculine waits across the bridge. But then in another situation, I was getting a cobra at the end. So if that resonates with someone's, maybe a masculine's nickname is Cobra or something. But also just be careful of someone who may suffocate you, okay? So it doesn't have to be a divine masculine. It could have to do with a karmic marriage as well. Also, I was getting a campfire. The little drummer boy was coming up again, as well as an Arab Sikh in the desert, and a campfire again there. I was getting a big clam shell, like tight-lipped. Also, Yoda was coming up, and that was actually at 111 when Yoda came up. Crocodile. All right, so crocodile with his mouth closed too, so tight lips again, but also Dundee. So I was getting, and crabs came up, but I was also getting, so deaths of the masculine by animals. And there was other deaths that came up today too, to be aware of, that we are purging and clearing. Whippersnapper came up. Also, a nun interfering with a union. Also, a hilly bike race. A colostomy leak. Also, a zipper breaking, you know, like when it pulls apart, and that's so irritating. I just saw that. And also there might be a wedding, and again, it doesn't have to be a divine masculine, divine feminine wedding, but I was seeing a wedding where a guy, like, he makes a run for it, and a nun grabs him and pulls him back, so it might be like a young person who's scared to get married. But then I'm seeing, like, the bride, you know, the emotions are building as this happens, and she just erupts. I'm also getting, it may be at a farm, too, because I was seeing animals watching. Also, I was getting Noah's Ark coming up there, as well as, like, a group of people, like a caravan walking across the desert. So maybe there's a caravan at a wedding, too. Also, holding open an open wound. I was getting like pouring salt in the wound, and also holding pressure. So there may be somebody might have gotten injured. So with bleeding, you know, you want to hold pressure and open wounds. So it's not just like a heart attack or something, although maybe that could happen at a wedding or some kind of event. But I was literally getting an open wound and holding open an open wound. So that could be relating a colostomy bag. But I was seeing someone bleeding because someone was holding pressure. And it might have to do with this wedding or not. And I was definitely getting, like, pouring salt in a wound. Okay, so that's all the sand art stuff. I want to get right in. There's some really powerful messages here today. Okay, 11/11/11. It is Sunday, 11/11/11. Sacred Sunday. Okay, we have the Justice card for 11, which you guys are all very familiar with, and then the day adds up to the 7 of Wands, which is 33/6. And 33 is known in the numerology book that I work with anyway, the Divine Triangle, is known as the Christ vibration. But I want you to notice that the 11/11 references back to the 11/11 of 2011 portal, right? The 7 years in between. But also notice that we're going into 12/12/12 next year. So that's like a huge completion of a cycle next December. And that referencing back as well. And that'll come up in my stuff more, but I wanted to bring that up too because 11/11/11 adds up to 33, right? And that's the Christ vibration. And then 12/12/12 will add to 36. So, you know, numerologically, I was wondering what the connection is there. 36 doesn't always come up as a big thing for me because it's the wounded warrior. But 33 as well is the Seven of Wands. They're both very wounded, defensive energies. Okay? So we're letting go of this. All the energies coming up today have to do with being the wounded warrior. You know, it's being the victim. You know, even the Seven of Wands is, you know, holding your ground. You're being defensive. Because we're letting go of all of that energy. Okay? Someone can only attack you if you let them. You know, if you become neutral, it neutralizes the whole energy. It's like when being attacked, if you don't react back, you basically neutralize the energy, where the other person just implodes and can't deal with the situation. Which I'll get into that more too in the read. But it's beautiful and sunny today. It's a little chilly, but it's a beautiful day. So we have the Seven of Wands of standing your ground. Okay, it's also about standing up for yourself, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just don't react. Speak your piece, and if it gets to be more than that, then walk away. You know, take the higher ground. But also it's about fending off others, you know, defending your territory. So these are all the energies of the Seven of Wands today. And justice, you know, getting justice. Like, if this is mine, you know, you can't take it from me. That kind of justice as well. So I also told you, you know, I had the gas company come out and check because I kept smelling random little pockets of gas. And it's so weird because he really wasn't registering anything. And then yesterday I noticed, not only did I smell a little whiff by the front, and it was in the frame, like it wasn't coming from anywhere. And then I noticed the same thing in the frame of the back door. And then I noticed it waking up this morning, but there wasn't really any gas smells around. And then I realized I was getting the gas chambers. All right, so death by gas chambers, because not only are you getting killed, but you're mourning everyone else at the same time. So it's a huge wound. So the gas chambers and spirits connecting with me, as well as death by animals. We're clearing all this. We're transmuting all these energies, okay, of the past. Also, yellow and pink and blues were coming up again. You know, as the yellow and pink of the Christ energy with the blue protection of Michael, of Archangel Michael. And then I actually ended up cutting a new sage stick today. For the Divine Feminine, it was at 9:22, and 22 came up again. Oh, this is why. All right, so the major arcana for the Divine Feminine today is Star, Higher Self, and Solar Deity, which is Star, the High Priestess, and the Sun. You know, beautiful energy for the Divine Feminine today. 1 sword, 3 pentacles, 3 wands, and 1 cup. Okay, so heavier on the pentacles and the wands, but, you know, pretty balanced. We have court cards of the Queen of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, okay? And how that might come into your sphere today. Okay, so maybe a karmic energy, could be you as well, but it's coming in the environment of the Divine Feminine. So it seems to be a karmic, whether it's a karmic in your situation, you know, a family member, friend, or it could be in the Divine Masculine sphere if you're dealing with your Divine Masculine. And also the Page of Pentacles. So maybe a child, or just an invitation, okay, or some kind of message, passionate message, or just excited about something, okay. So the numbers that were coming up were 77, 10, 1001. A lot of reflections were coming up today because I got 1001, I got 77, and then I got 1331, okay, direct reflections. And then 10 is the vibration I was talking about, 1010, you know, staying close to 0 point. The codes all had everything to do with health for the Divine Feminine, okay? And then 2001, a Space Odyssey came up, which I'm dating myself because this was from 1968. I was too young to understand it, so I walked out of the movie before the end, so I need to watch it over now because there's some profound things in 2001, A Space Odyssey, so you might want to watch it as well. And the brief about it online just said, RE Black Monolith, Humanity's Evolution and Rise of AL's Ultimate Supercomputer, 8 HAL, H-A-L 9000. And then listen to the theme song too, you'll feel it. Listen to the theme song from 2001, A Space Odyssey, 1968. Okay, and then I got I got 2001 from actually 1001, because that came up in the coding, which, by the way, was all about health, like I said. But it's about getting attention and being the star and staying even. So whether it's someone else, you may have a friend or family member or your twin even, or whatever, the karmic, who may get a lot of attention. It may trigger you. So be aware of this, okay? It's about the getting attention thing, to allow it. Remember to look inward, because if you're triggered, it's probably a wound in you that needs to come up to your own attention. But also, don't be tempted to want to fix things with someone you've been there before with. And it's just about, instead of going forward and trying to get them to take some responsibility in the relationship, that kind of relationship, it's remembering you can't change people if they don't want to change, and you're only responsible for your behavior and the way you react. So it's always going to be about doing what feels good to you, and obviously starting an argument doesn't feel good, right? But it's also about when you're always staying, you want to be authentic, but you also want to stay in love, okay? So, because love is the only thing that's real. And when someone won't meet you there, you have to let them go. If they love you, they will come back. It's just their own wounds. They're separating from themselves, or they're mad at you, whatever it is. It's still them separating from themselves. If they feel any animosity towards you, and you need to let them heal their own wounds. And if they love you, they will eventually come back. And if they never come back, it's just a difference in energy level. They're just not resonating with you. So don't blame yourself. Just remember, you're always, if you're just being your loving self, and someone is like putting you on the last on their list, or on the back burner or whatever, and it's someone you've known for a long time, don't feed into that wound of abandonment and rejection. It's about you staying connected to yourself and knowing that you are loving and you're not responsible for the way other people respond to that love, okay? They have to deal with their own wounds. So very important today. And again, it's all around health, to stay even, the evenness, and Jesus was coming in here as well, Eve and Jesus. So, it's the Jesus, Mary Magdalene energy. And getting attention. And the twins. It also has to do with the twins and the reflection. So you're going to have friends and family members who closely reflect you, because they've known you a long time or really well, or they're very similar in personality and energy to you, because this is testing you to see how you do with these other close energies before you come together with your twin. Okay? And Spirit's connecting with me. Excuse me. So it's also getting to remind you the 10 and 01 are the wheel reflecting the magician. And the magician, reverse, has to do with health issues. All right? So don't allow other people to cause bad health, and other stuff about health will come up in the read. Okay? So getting right into it, there's a delicate balance. The left hand is down as the King of Wands is recovering, and the right hand is up. Of insecure twins, or manipulative twins, or friends, or childhood friends, or children, okay? But people who are very close to you. Or it could be an illness. There could be an illness of a king of swords, soulmate, or it could be your twin, or there's some kind of mental illness or health issue is coming up. But I was getting a lot of mental illness issues. So it could be a masculine health issue, whether it's ADD or something else, could be autism, but also is coming up as maybe a child of the divine masculine, or a masculine is coming up as having some kind of illness, okay? The King of Swords sees eye to eye, but the King of Wands is watching the twins. So this is to delineate the difference between the King of Wands and King of Swords. I was getting more the King of Swords was the twin, and the King of Wands was someone else who's watching the twins, okay? It wasn't as good energy the way it comes up. And there's two King of Cups attached to each of these kings that comes up, like the same, like there's a King of Swords, King of Cups, and there's a King of Wands, King of Cups that's coming up here. One's reversed and one's upright. So I'm going to get into this. The Divine Masculine's family may think he's mentally ill regarding the twin stuff, okay? Which you all get that stuff. The Divine Feminine is in her knowing, her higher self. I'm getting the King of Wands is a warlike Cancer energy with fire energy, or Leo specifically, acting like an ass, putting his butt where it doesn't belong. This is what I'm getting from the cards, okay? He thinks he's taking what belongs to him. Remember, this is the old templating of the masculines, that the women belong to them. Ownership, that was also coming up today. He thinks he's taking what belongs to him, riding roughshod over Rainbow Bridge, only seeing the black and white of it. It's about the masculine ownership of money and family. Either this person left their job, they're not getting along with others at work, or third-party issues through work, or his creativity. There's a wounded warrior there, in the weeds up to his eyeballs, too weak for his normal chores, or he's stressed defending his territory, like I said, that energy coming up today, because that is the Seven of Wands, fighting or fending off others. Too much military aggression and wounds. But the wheel has come in to save the day, okay? But here again is that, like, saving energy. The Divine Masculine with financial is coming up as having financial family support, and the Karmic Masculines here are coming up as having emotional family support, okay? And seeing the difference in that. Also, romantic underlying feelings is coming up for the Divine Feminine. I'm also getting a couple different situations about, it could be a Libra energy or a daughter energy who may want to talk to the Divine Feminine about, it could be Divine Masculine or a Karmic. So it could be the daughter of a Karmic or Divine Masculine or someone else, or a Libra, friend or family member. But I'm getting that this person wants to talk to the Divine Feminine about the Karmic or the Divine Masculine, who may be obsessing about the Divine Feminine and needing peace, like not being able to let go, making wishes and fountains in the woods and wanting to rescue the Divine Feminine, or Mermaid of the Water, and I was getting Little Mermaid as well, or Fairy Justice in finding peace in a fountain of youth in the woods and wanting to offer love or receive love naturally with grounding, where the masculine approaches the feminine with his flame when she does not suspect. So it's a masculine, like, saying how it's supposed to be. The masculine's supposed to come forward and offer the feminine something when she least suspects, okay? So the Knight of Wands is coming up as ready to sweep the Divine Feminine off her feet and bathe her in light and or affection, to give her needed attention, but is swamped and blocked by possible Cancer energy or chaos over a fall from grace or a confession from the Divine Masculine due to a lover. Also may not have a car, or their car might be in the shop getting fixed and not knowing when it'll get fixed. So the wheel comes in, divine timing, it is upright, so it's benevolent, of coming and going, moving or not moving, traveling or not traveling, ascending or not ascending, not knowing or not needing to know, because you are connected to higher self, okay? Get where it was taking you? You don't need to know whether you're moving or not moving. You're staying present, trying not to plan too far ahead, because you're just going with the flow and accepting the changes as they come, okay? So recently, sitting with the uncomfortable emotions, there's a Queen of Cups feeling stuck, and she's upright, but she's feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place, but it's actually a sponge and a download. So her feeling like the sponge receiving all these downloads, okay? And that's feeling stuck, okay? Again, here we get hit again, and we're kind of like stuck. Allowing the chips to fall where they may, ignoring others' aggressions or attempts to control, allowing others to sit with their own emotions. You cannot control what others say or do or feel or think. You have to only allow them and hope that they will try to heal their own wounds and come back when they're ready to love. The foundation has to do with Trinity. I was getting specifically Trinity broken down as TR, as the trill of the O1, the vibration of 0 point. INI, which is co-creating with the Christ consciousness, and it's little I, capital N, little I, and capital N for me is always Jesus energy. But it's co-creating with Christ consciousness, and then TY for thank you, with gratitude. Over stress, crying, or fear of overindulgences, whether it's any kind of addiction or you know, the third-party situations, or just even, you know, being alone too much, whatever the overindulgence is, inspired to align with the Queen of Pentacles reversed at the workplace. All right, so, and it could be a workplace, a church, a creative place, but this is where I'm getting So if I bring up Cancer energy here, for the feminine, can be positive, but in the underlying energy, I'm getting a Cancer, and he's not innately negative. He's actually innately very positive. But he's coming up as the King of Cups reversed here because he's out of control, okay, with his feelings. So this is the foundation of Trinity, okay? But the Divine Feminine, over the stress, crying fear of overindulgence, is inspired to align with the Queen of Pentacles reversed at a workplace. So it could be you as the Queen of Pentacles reversed, so just on grounding, you may need some grounding, or it could be another earth sign, or just, you know, a normally grounded person. There's a Cancer with romantic feelings, or in their knowing, okay? Ascending romantic feelings with a love offer. And it says to free yourself. The freeing yourself is under the underlying energy of romantic feelings, okay? So that's under the romantic feelings. Free yourself and allow yourself your feelings. Express yourself, even if you're not sure if it's going to work out. So this could be a Divine Feminine, but it also can be a Karmic Masculine I was getting. Could be a Divine Masculine as well, but I was getting more Karmic. There's a Libra or Cancer Divine Feminine, which I was getting more of the positive end of this, is freeing herself and loving herself and her health. Okay, so the Divine Feminine coming up here is focus on your health and love yourself first. And be creative about it. There's a lot of Cancer energy in the underlying energies due to the North Node and the masculine mothers, or karmics or military energies, okay, because the Chariot's all about that energy. The central energy for the Divine Feminine is about passion's dark side and conflict in implementing without affection, because the Divine Feminine wants that affection right now, being alone. Relating to the Divine Feminine's working from her heart in passion as opposed to inspiration. All right, so watch your ego, because if you're coming from a true passionate place, there's ego involved. Okay, so the challenge is the Star, or getting attention, which again is about ego. There's a Hermit that's shedding light. So the Hermit again can be someone who's just hermiting. It can be a Virgo. It can be a professional. It can be just a wise old man, or it can be a physician. Okay, physician comes up for the Magician as well, though. Okay, but it could be anyone like that. But the challenge is the Star, or the ego, and the Hermit shedding light on the home, stability, union, family celebrations, the dreams versus the passions of the King of Swords at home, and both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine waiting and dreaming, worried that a message of love could become a reprimand. All right? So the Divine Masculine in the back of his mind may always, you know, this is the ping pong match we both play in our heads, like, you know, where here comes a message of love, but it is really the Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine wanted to chew me out. Okay, so this is coming from the King of Swords, Divine Masculine energy. As the Divine Masculine works, he gets these defensive thoughts outweighing his loving thoughts due to the shadow of passion and connecting passion to the Divine Feminine's heart, as opposed to love and inspiration, which is really what the Divine Feminine is. But he doesn't know that. He's not familiar with that energy. He hasn't seen that really before. Both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine assuming and avoiding conflict. He may think that her passion is dark after allowing others into her heart, or having been married before. Okay, so not trusting that if she divorced before, why won't she divorce again? So why would I trust her? And then also could be an Aquarian, may also be a challenge at home for the Divine Masculine, as well as kids. The Aquarian energy can be a challenge for either the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine here. But it's showing specifically at home for the Divine Masculine, as well as their kids, so specific kids whose love can change on a dime and be more aggressive. Okay, so the Divine Masculine is obviously familiar with this, and this is why he's associating that to the Divine Feminine, where his kids or his karmic may start out loving, but then end up chewing him out about everything. So turning on a dime. Okay, so he's seeing that why wouldn't the Divine Feminine be the same way, not understanding the place of love the Divine Feminine comes from. Then at 11:17, I happened to look at my mail, and it was 10:01 at the top of the mail, and it was from my state representative asking us to honor our veterans, okay? So this was an important message to honor our veterans who have always protected us and been through the wars and gone through all these wounds that we're now healing, right? And also give thanks and gratitude to anyone that you may do meditations with or just spend time with today for 11/11. Make sure to show gratitude for that. I actually got in with Dove and Nicole today to feel that energy, and it was really very lovely. Thank you, Dove and Nicole, so much. And then going on with the Divine Feminine read, my mail was coming up 4334, which is the reflection of 43, which is the Three of Cups. And that was actually at 1152, which is the Queen of Swords, okay? So it's that mourning energy. And aren't we transmuting mourning energies right now so much? Death and mourning. Now in the head and heart, the E Tower, all right, which is the Divine Feminine's heart, I'm getting to come see. She's allowing people in. Detoxing passion, purifying to inspiration from passion of the heart for peace of mind, while the Divine Masculine is working to align with surrender to love on his white horse, ahead of the game. So the horse's head, literally a white horse, ahead of the game to the holy city of light and the central sun. The Divine Feminine is rising above the nighttime energies of holding back passion, feeling drained, and the masculine anger that's coming up for both, exhaustion of wanting to take the lead. So for the masculine, that's really going to come through. There's a negative past with the Queen of Wands coming up here, watching him get attention and succeed, or watching the Divine Feminine have attention and succeed, despite her attempts to belittle him or the Divine Feminine behind her back, and stuck without ability to find peace in chaos. The masculine transforms the Divine Feminine's peaceful heart to passionate lover of the King of Swords, who's waiting for reunion, but conflicted and challenged by the truth, the lunar energies at night, just like the feminine at night. You know, that's the most difficult time. So soon for the Divine Feminine is expansion of the sun, strong impatience, or specifically it could be a Leo's impatience, is exposed, as well as sadness, loss, and regret, or unhappiness of a King of Cups reversed who's emotionally detached. So there's strong energies of Leo, Sag, and water signs, as well as Capricorn, as well as Capricorn water. So for the water signs, I was getting mostly Scorpio and Cancer, but definitely Pisces can be in there as well, and also getting a lot of Leo here. If you're trying to figure out who they are, because I was getting two different King of Cups, and which one's more negative, which one's more positive, I was getting the Leo of the fire energies would be more positive than the Sag. Sag was definitely reversed. Aries is probably positive as well, but Sag was reversed. Water was coming up as all negative emotions. So someone with a lot of water in their chart probably isn't going to come at you with positivity. Cancer is definitely a lot of reversed energy. And Scorpio was coming up reversed, but I think that was more attributed to all the signs that we're in right now, not necessarily a specific Scorpio as being negative. But just be careful, because there might be a little bit of Scorpion sting out there, okay? But don't take it, don't take it personally if there's a little Scorpio sting that comes your way, because it's really, everything behind this person, if someone does react that way, is all positive except for that little Scorpion sting. That's what I was getting coming up. The Leo may be positive, Sag negative, water all negative emotions, exposing the truth of the King of Cups reversed, who is possibly awakening or just conceited. Okay, and I was getting Scorpio conceit here. The Divine Feminine is taking steps to stop performing old patterns of resisting her higher energy, which is coming up as the Scorpio reversed energy, and expressing feelings and exchange more of spiritually feeling overwhelmed and or being dumped, or just feeling like they're in the dumps. And then the cards came up for the Divine Feminine of deception, so someone's wearing a mask, and then chemistry. There's a magnetic attraction here. So remember, this deception and chemistry could have to do with your Divine Masculine, but also could have to do with a karmic energy in your space. Letting go of illusion. Around the Divine Feminine is the Queen of Wands showing off false light. So that might trigger you as a friend or a family member. or the karmic of the divine masculine. There's a non-commitment wound here that needs to come up. Okay? Even with dealing with tarot cards, everyone always wants to say, the Hierophant upright is marriage and traditional institutions and things like that. But when they turn it reverse, that's spirituality, which kind of gives spirituality a negative connotation, because the Hierophant upright is also about commitment, and then spirituality is about no commitment, but it's really about commitment to yourself, to God, to Source, and that the rest, I was getting a message that the rest is just candy. Okay? The only commitment you really need to make is to yourself. And it comes up as the twins. We just happen to be lucky because when you commit to yourself, you're also committing to your twin. So to commit to one over another, like so in the general population, is taking sides. It's polarized, all right? So how about just standing beside those we resonate with? We are lucky. By committing to ourselves, we also commit to our twin. So that's what makes this such a special relationship or union. Lack of commitment is a call or wake up to burden. When you commit to self, you only do what feels good to you. The Queen of Wands is going to come up as burden. So this is someone in your environment and needs to let go. And they may not be ready to have you help them let go. Okay, so if they need to just go away again, you may need to let them. Clear blocks about psychic abilities and opportunity. Only thing standing between the Divine Feminine and everyone is an offer of love. The King of Cups offering love, and one day they may just accept it. We can only control our own behavior and not react to rejection or abandonment. Clear blocks of forgiveness. Before I just want to make sure, yeah, the non-committal thing, emotional detachment. With this is the wound too. With commitment for the Divine Feminine in her past comes abuse or neglect or disappointment. Okay, it's not only in past lives but in this life too, right? So if you've been divorced or if you've been in other relationships, you've only experienced abuse, neglect, or disappointment. Okay, so this is the wound of commitment. Clear blocks of forgiveness of others and of self, of anxiety, change that to seeing it as being excited. Also family money and worthiness. Are you worthy of any family money you might inherit? Or just in general if you have a wealthy family. Illusions are everything that is not love. Also you need to clear lack of abundance, worthiness, and the ability to do things. Your ability to do things, having faith in yourself. And the cards that came up for the Divine Feminine from the Numerology deck were all about health, but even more so spiritual partnership, love, and domestic harmony. And this has mostly to do with you, your partnership with yourself, your love, your domestic harmony within your heart, but it was also bringing up Gaia. So, and getting connection there. So for health, freedom, free self from home or stability or a move. So it's not that you have to move. So for health reasons, the Divine Feminine's being called to free herself. So whether that be a home or freeing yourself from needing stability or needing to move, it's just in general about getting out of the house more in nature, because you're partnering with Gaia in love and domestic harmony. Expressing passionate exchange and physical activity. This is such great energy when you're out in nature doing this. The Capricorn King of Cups, truth, and wish for happiness in the aftermath of awakening is to offer something healthy and take it slow. So this was coming up as Divine Masculine to me. All right, Capricorn King of Cups. So this is the upright King of Cups. The reverse King of Cups was more a Cancer Leo energy, and it could be military energy as well, whereas the upright King of Cups is coming up as more some Scorpio and Sag in it. So this energy could inherently have more issues in the person, but coming up as more positive with your connection, whereas the other one may be more inherently clear as a person, but isn't the right one for you. So So just, take it as it comes to you, and if it doesn't resonate, that's fine too. But this is the outcome, or the result, or the solution to the read, is a Capricorn King of Cups with their truth, the Ace of Swords, and a wish for happiness in the aftermath of their awakening is to offer something healthy and take it slow. So they're coming in as the Knight of Pentacles. It was really a beautiful offer. His shadows still need some work, allowing transformation from his ego to his awakeness, with a little bit of a Scorpio sting left that he is aware of. And this could be some impatience too, and that's maybe why Sagittarius is coming up reversed. Big expressions of passion and emotional love. An offer from an Aries looking back at an emotional offer of love, or the King of Cups, who is now sovereign, takes a leap away from the past, free to offer love, spending a little to repair and balance things, with the Emperor reversed, a little bit out of control, or maybe trying to let go of ego. But the King of Pentacles, very well grounded and stable, and he's hardworking, he wants you to know. He's now putting together the details of his alignment. Going with the flow at work. I was just 35-35, which is the 9. What was I saying? Oh, 36 isn't the Wounded Warrior. 36 is the 10 of Wands. It's the burdens. I mean, same type of energy. It's really about letting everything go. But we were just at 35-35, which is the Wounded Warrior. So again, okay, so go with the flow at work. To keep going, despite any fiery energy that's around you, allowing you to take higher ground, like it's giving you a test to allow yourself to go to higher ground. Be authentic and say what you need to say, but then walk away if needed. Don't stoop to reacting or lowering yourself. You can't be rejected or abandoned. You can only reject or abandon yourself. Take the high road. Be inspired by what feels good to you and shine your light. Completely exposed and energized, working on your abilities, your psychic abilities, and or new ways to expand your consciousness of your heart expansion, in loving and physical exchange with others, and always offering love and freedom from the past. Okay, so that was the read. So a lot of beautiful energies there. So yeah, I was getting, like for the King of Cups, the 2 different ones, I was getting a Cancer Leo reversed cup, but I was also getting a King of Cups with Sag, or possibly a little Scorpio, or just good Pisces energy with air. And that one's more positive for the Divine Feminine. It doesn't mean he's naturally a more really positive person. Like the karmic may actually come off that way more. So just take it as it comes to you. I have a little time to pull a few cards, so I'll try to get through the oracle cards. Take a deep breath, everyone. Okay, this is for the Ascension deck. Clear a line. Clear a line. Clear a line. Take a deep breath. Okay, so what is our advice today? For everyone watching this 11-11-11 energy, what is our advice today? Oh. What is our advice? What is our advice? Lord Cthulhu comes up and Kuan Yin at the bottom. Okay. Kuan Yin is number 43, which came up already. The affirmation is I act from my divine feminine wisdom as we come up to 3838, which is the Queen of Cups, associating with Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is great for helping you with your inner child issues. I act from my divine feminine wisdom. Lord Cthulhu came up again, which is 36, which I brought up as the 12-12-12 energy. Okay, and this is also of the 10 of Wands. It's ending the burden, confessing or dropping your wands. It's the end of the battle. It says it's a 9, which is an ending. It's 369, and that's of universal love, self-love, or universal love and compassion. Lord Cthulhu is the world teacher in his incarnation as Saint Francis Shah Jahan, who built the Taj Mahal, and Melchior, one of the wise men. Maybe that's Yoda. Lord Cthulhu practiced harmlessness, love, and wisdom. These energies are encapsulated in this card, so you're encouraged to spread knowledge and spiritual truth to others with humility and inspiration. Be ready to learn, for Lord Cthulhu is drawing your attention to something important. He is a member of the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, Those who take in and transmute the pain of the world. If you're sensitive to energies, ask him to wrap you in his light. And again, gold did come up today, the yellow and the pink and the blue. The affirmation is, I'm open to learning and teaching. Okay, so we teach and learn each other. It's always about that. And again, the bottom energy was 43, which came up. That's the 3 of Cups, and the 36, the 10 and the 9 and the 10 of Wands are coming up big time now. It's all about letting go of the wounded warrior. You know, literally the warriors, the soldiers, the prison camps. Like I said, the gas chambers came up. I just shuffled these the wrong way. But that's okay. We'll shuffle them this way, and then I'll pull the cards. All right, take another deep breath, clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay, let's see what comes up. This 11-11-11 portal, what is the advice for everyone watching today? What is the energy? Okay. Phobias and authority figures is the bottom. That came up yesterday. Like we're putting our foot down. The gavel gets put down on authority figures. Okay? That's the underlying energy. And then the cards that came out are phobias and biblical. So biblical's been coming up like crazy every day. Okay, so maybe you might want to open your Bible just to a random page and see what it tells you. Again, this is about the 4 corners, the 4 legs, the 4 walls of stability. That stability is your heart and not the building that holds you. And also I'm getting the Sikh energy, okay? He's got his head wrapped. But I was getting some walking through the desert a lot, alone, and then in a caravan. So it's connecting to that, as well as phobias. What are your phobias? Do you have phobias about biblical times? And is your phobia because of biblical times? Maybe you need to go back to that. Maybe see if you can go into Akashic Records or past life and connect with whatever your phobia is associated with from biblical times. Oh, and I was just getting fingers cut off. It might be oh, and she's got her hands like this. All right? I was just getting fingers being cut off because that's from the English patient that I just watched. And he's like using a tool. And he's got that hammer too. We just have the gavel, and he's got a gavel in his hand. Tools of destruction. Doesn't matter if you're in wartime or not. There are always tools of destruction available. And that's where we get all our phobias. It's also saying to meditate, pray for others who are going through difficult times right now, but this is about your phobias and releasing your phobias, because it's all fear. And you know about fear already. If you're in fear, you're not in love, so you need to connect more with yourself or go out in nature. Oh, and I'm getting too, she's covering her head. All right, the feminine who always had to pretend not to be here, she had to cover her face and her head. Okay, so and Spirit's connecting with me. I'm actually getting that in my head very strongly. All right, so that would happen a lot of abuse of women in wartime. Now, journey of love. Take another deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let your lungs fill up. Okay. Especially, I'm again getting the wound of the gas chambers, letting our lungs fill up. Okay, so what is the advice from the Journey of Love for everyone on 11-11-11 today? What is the advice for the highest good of all is concerned? What is the advice for everyone today? What is our advice for everyone watching? Okay, we have the Christ flame and the Woman of Lights at the bottom. That's number 49, which is getting your wish. That's the 9 of Cups. It's also a 4 of earthly stability. Okay, the Woman of Light. Underlying energy, and then the Christ flame, very different. Okay, it's definitely the crucifixion of Christ, this energy. The Christ flame, okay, transmuting the wounds of the world. 31 is that 5 of Wands, which much about expansion and pain energy, okay, conflict, learning how to deal with conflict, and the sacrifice, okay, that we don't need to sacrifice. We don't need to be in pain. I'm going to read that to you, 31. And we're just at 44 right now, 4444. For 31, the Christ flame. And that's your angels calling. Ask your angels for help if you need them. Or anyone else who you need. You have to ask. The Christ flame says, within you burns the flame of the Christ. Beyond religion, this flame belongs to all hearts willing to receive the divine, opening to it as a lover would open the heart to receive the beloved. Though the awakening of the Christ within brings greater closeness to the divine, and therefore greater love and depth of compassion, it too can bring sadness, righteous anger, and a passionate need to contribute positive healing action and change in the world. You may be an introspective soul who does this through mastering their inner world and spirits connecting, with meditation and yoga, raising your own vibration with absolute intent that is bringing healing to the world around you. You may be an extroverted soul that thrives on sharing messages and living a life of dynamic action in support of causes that are worthy and moving to your brave heart, capable of feeling divine outrage and responding with inspired action. You may be a combination of these soul types and choosing wisely what you consume, which companies you support, what television you do or do not watch, do or do not, that was a big theme today, and watch what you read, voting for the life you want and have around you in the world through your actions, internal and external. This is the Christ flame igniting within you, setting the world aflame with the fire of divine love. This oracle brings guidance that you are connecting with the universal Christ consciousness, and your heart is meant to awaken as a sacred heart bearing the Christ flame of divine love this lifetime. You are part of the wave of awakening happening on the earth now, and you're exactly where you're meant to be and doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. Just keep going, which also came up in the read today. The poem reads, love is more than words can define. It is a feeling which wells up inside and longs for release. Express yourself. It is a smile which starts in my heart and spreads across my face like a silly grin. It is a knowing so deep in my being that every cell speaks in a language only lovers know. And most of all, it is the beginning, the birth, the possibility, the promise of a tomorrow, the hope that grows into something we can only imagine when hearts combine and love becomes more. Okay, that's the expansion, the Christ consciousness. Okay, Spirit's connecting with me very strongly. Okay, so I have to go. I have an appointment. So I'm wishing you guys so much love. Thank you all so much for your participation. Subscribe if you like what I'm providing. And if you need anything, my services, everything is below. Thank you all so much for your comments. I love you guys. You know that. And drink your water. Rise and be loved. Bye, guys. Sorry. Here's the picture. My mind's definitely going. Okay, that's the read for the Divine Feminine today. Bye, guys.